A certain rapist needs to leave Pittsburgh.
Whoa.
Alleged
Alleged rapist. You guys are just getting canceled left and right this podcast. I'm sitting here pretty. I don't got to do shit.
Man, I that's exactly how I wanted to come out with this topic too. I hate Big Ben with a passion. I fucking hate that guy. But should he retire after this year with his goofy ass TikTok star of a wide receiving core?
It would be in his best interest to retire. That man, like, I think Phillip Rivers has a noodle arm. That man, Ben Roethlisberger, he has a quadruple noodle arm. Like, he cannot throw the ball down the field whatsoever. He's literally like, I don't know if you watch him, but he just like throws it. It looks like he's just closing his eyes, just like he can't throw the ball down the field. The guy's the best part of his game was him being so mobile. He can't do that anymore. So he has to rely on his arm, which never was great. And he's just not good anymore. Like, I mean, like, he hasn't been good for 5 years, in my opinion. Like, he's had the number one receiver and the number one running back, and he wasn't able to win a Super Bowl, which is like crazy to me. But he needs to retire, leave. He can go watch all the porn he wants and just leave the Steelers. You know, you gave him 2 Super Bowls. You're not going to give him anything. Just go off into the sunset.
So, like, as much as we want to say how the Steelers were the most overrated 11-0 team, was it 11-0?
Yeah, and then they went like 11-3.
They had a pretty good roster, if we're going to be honest. This might be his last chance. And with Big Ben, like, yeah, he looked pretty horrible down the stretch, but imagine how much better he would have looked if they were catching any of his passes. They had zero form of any running game. If they can get any sort of running game into that offense, all of a sudden you're not leaning on a noodle arm quarterback. We saw it with Phillip Rivers. You can't lean on a guy like that. So you can't really put all the blame on him. Give him some help and let him do his thing. He's going to be able to keep defenses honest. He doesn't have the long ball anymore, but he can still get those short to intermediate passes at a pretty high level. And honestly, you don't have the TikTok. We might not have the TikTok star coming back. They're not going to be doing as much dancing, and they're going to be doing more winning. You got a guy like Claypool. You got a guy like Deontay Johnson. Those are 2 really good receivers. He's got weapons. You need to fix that offensive line, though. I think Connor might be good enough to be a decent running back, but he needs those lanes to run through. He's not going to be able to do it himself.
And he can't stay healthy.
That's true. That too. But, I mean, we have seen shitty running backs, including him, go off at times because of the offensive line. So if that can change, as long as they fix that, keep Big Ben upright, you have good receivers, and then you have a kick-ass defense. So that's a pretty solid team. And I can't think of too many other guys that they would even be in the market for right now.
I mean, they have Mason Rudolph, but
Maga
Mason
Rudolph
Rudolph's
is not a good
He's a-
quarterback.
And he is a racist. Allegedly.
No, he is clearly a racist.
Yeah, like there's no alleged about it. Like,
all right, we don't have. I didn't know if we were being PC or not. Now,
all right, like Tommy Lauren's not even that hot. Like, she's just a standard blonde girl. You don't follow her unless you're a racist. Let's be real.
And he was sliding into her DMs.
Did he?
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, baby girl, you look so good on the news. I just love the way you talk. You're so smart." And she literally said some racist shit.
I know what his favorite podcast is. The Alex Jones podcast.
probably.
No, I think he's a big Ben Shapiro guy.
Yeah. All right, good call on that one. I'll give you that. He bookmarks Infowars.com.
Yeah.
His TV.
I'm gonna tell you about the kids from Sandy Hook.
The frogs are turning gay.
Oh God, I hate the Steelers, man.
Oh, you're mad that they have the best quarterback in Pennsylvania?
Shut the fuck up.
Am I
Hey,
wrong?
at least the
Shut
quarterback
the
they
fuck up.
at least the quarterback that they pay big money to actually starts for them, or
Exactly.
will start for them.
You know what? We hired Indianapolis's offensive coordinator for a reason. He definitely loves Carson Wentz and can totally. What the fuck am I saying? Carson Wentz is trash.
I mean, that offensive coordinator was basically strictly the wide receiver coach. Frank Reich was running that offense. He's the genius behind that offense.
Maybe he'll turn our weapons into weapons. I hate the Eagles.
You mean the 10 receivers that you guys have?
Let's be real. Alshon Jeffrey and Deshaun Jackson no longer count as wide receivers, according to Eagles fandom.
Fulgham
Well,
was
Eagles
really
fandom-
good until
Eagles fandom is filled with morons.
It's
Let's
true.
let's keep it real.
Welcome to Eagles fandom. Like,
Fulgham was great until Wentz forgot about him.
yeah.
If we're going to determine if a player is good strictly off of what Eagles fans say, then we are all headed towards just IQs at like 52.
I'm going to be real. Anytime I go onto Eagles Twitter, I just feel like my IQ drops and get 30 points.
They literally retweet one moron. It's like the blind leading the blind. It's this. I hate. There's this one person. I'm not even going to give him the clout on my podcast.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's literally the worst. I don't get it.
It's both one of the better fandoms of the NFL and also one of the worst. One of the better ones because like 2017, we basically burned down the city of Philadelphia.
Yep.
Like the only other fandom I can think that would even attempt to do that to their city, because Oakland's gotten soft over there. Well, they're in Vegas now, so they don't even count. Would be Buffalo, and Buffalo would actually destroy the city of Buffalo, and then go to Rochester and destroy Rochester, and just basically tear through upstate.
They
New
might
York.
take over the world.
Dude, Bill. I'm so glad Bills Mafia didn't make it into the Super Bowl this year, because I was afraid. Like I thought my house was going to get burned down. Because I was right in the line of fire, man. But yeah.
Would have been a sight to see.
Oh my god, it would have been the most.
You know what would have been better? The Bills making it to the Super Bowl and then getting shut out by Tom Brady. That would have made my day.
No, that was
Just
awful.
0-5 in the Super Bowl. You can never win the big game. Then you're going to go for another 27 years of just
Bro, they
trash
put
teams.
spikes on those tables and jump on them if that happened.
Cool,
Like,
they're morons.
They'd impale themselves on those tables.
It would
Good
be
for
like
them, man.
Jonestown,
They're idiots.
but worse.
I love Buffalo, dude. Fuck you guys.
I'm just
Hey, I
happy
love
that Buffalo.
Too, man. I'm just glad that I don't need to risk life and limb.
I'm just happy that we can finally stop seeing Buffalo Twitter go off. When they win, they are the worst people.
They'll be back next year and
No,
the
they
year
won't.
after and the year after.
Josh Allen looked elite.
Honestly, do we want to talk about it on this segment, or do we want
Let's talk about it. We're here.
So,
here.
I know what the problem was this last game. You guys know I'm a huge Josh Allen guy, right?
Yeah.
I felt like it seems like the Bills were masking his flaws in the deep ball game, and the Chiefs were eating that up. Every single pass was underneath. Every single pass, just like easy Stephon Diggs passes. He's got to be able to step up and just deliver on-time deep passes. Because once he's able to open up the field like that, it's going to be impossible to stop all of those wide receivers. So that's the real issue. They didn't have a running game. Defense didn't look great. But that's the one thing that stuck out to me because both those things were consistent all year. This was the one thing that needs to change. And once he can do that, the entire offense is going to look amazing. So if he can do this and really expand his deep throwing game, I think they're literally going to be top 2 team for the next decade.
All right, Ezzus, does that put the fear in you as a Jets fan?
Not at all.
Yeah, I mean that's the
I
only
don't
New
fa-
York team. Why would he be mad? They're not even in the same state.
That is true. They do
Okay.
play in New Jersey.
Congrats. That is the only thing that you have. When we talk about Josh Allen, I just get bored because that man is going to get overpaid by the Bills, and I can't wait. He'll probably get paid $35 million this year, and it's going to be the biggest mistake the Bills have ever made. The second biggest mistake they ever made was paying Ryan Fitzpatrick because he had 2 good seasons. But no, he should have had 3 interceptions that game. Like he was getting lucky all season long, and I think once
Lucky.
Yeah, man. He
had
throws
like 50 touchdowns.
He didn't have 50 touchdowns. He had 30-something touchdowns.
And
if you're gonna
8
get
rushing touchdowns.
Okay, cool. Congratulations. He had 8 rushing touchdowns. Let's talk about it. We're talking about him being a quarterback. Let's talk about him passing touchdowns.
That was the minor part of his game. He was still an elite passer.
Okay.
And plus he adds that dimension. Like he's crazy.
Okay, when he's going to take a big hit one of these days, he's going to be out for a season. And
He's
once
like 6'4", like
he's a beast, bro.
yeah, he's a big guy.
And he's not even stupid when he plays.
Was Cam Newton not a big guy? Did he not take hits?
He took a lot of hits. Josh Allen really doesn't.
He takes big hits. I don't know what you're talking about. You must not actually watch the game.
He slides way more often. He's not diving into the end zone every single play.
Oh, okay. You need to go back and watch his highlights.
Cam Newton does somersaults over people in the end zone. Like, don't compare them.
He's still taking big hits when he's running.
It's not even comparable, though. Cam Newton was literally a running back. He had no passing game whatsoever. Dude threw like his shoulder was on fire. Other than that 1 year. Not even comparable.
I don't think to this day I don't think Josh Allen is all that good. I think Brian Dable, the offensive coordinator, has really figured him out and how he can use him correctly. And once he's gone, because he's going to get a head coaching job next year, it's going to be over for him. And I can't wait.
Do you know what exponential growth is?
No, and I don't care.
So basically, you start off with 2. Then you multiply that 2 by itself. So it ends up equaling 4. And then you multiply that by 2. So you have 8. So it continues to get higher and higher and higher. Josh Allen went from 10 touchdowns to 20. So 10, 20 doubles.
So he should have 40 this year.
He had 40 passing touchdowns. And then what happens? He's literally gonna have 80 passing touchdowns next year. He's the Colin Sexton of the NFL.
Could you imagine? Sets the NFL off in a blaze of glory, gets 80 touchdowns, breaks the record.
And then Ezzus is still gonna be out here saying, "Oh, that was lucky. He's not a passer."
If I'm
40 fucking touchdowns, bro.
I'm just happy that you wasted our time and the viewers' time explaining your stupid little math equation. I sat here and I was bored out of my mind. It was entertaining. Ready? Here's what it was. Do you know what 2 plus 2 is? It's 4. Do you know if you multiply 2 times 4, that's 8. And then you multiply it by 2 again, that's 16. Congratulations, guys. We're a math podcast now.
Big stat guy over here.
So let's talk about Fermi's equation real quick, guys.
Let's talk about a squared plus b squared equals c squared.
The Pythagorean theorem, a classic. Love it. It is one of my favorite theorems.
You want to know what a squared plus b squared equals?
C squared.
Josh Allen's next touchdown record.
No, Josh Allen overrated.
Oh, no.